Good evening everybody, welcome to Apex Racing TV, welcome to iRacing Live, and welcome to the third race meeting of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Formula 4 Championship in association with the Apex Racing League. We're here at the Silverstone circuit today, the historic Grand Prix layout. So we're going to be blasting our way through corners such as Copse and, more importantly, through Abbey on our way to Bridge. It should be a thrilling 4 races. Adam Bath here with Alex Simpson, iRacing World Championship driver tonight. And Alex, it's a round that we've been picking out really out of the first 3 races of the season. Silverstone Historic. It's going to be a pretty entertaining 4 races tonight.
Yeah, going to be a fantastic race meeting tonight. Good evening, hello, welcome everybody on iRacing Live and of course Jinx Esports TV. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Going to be fantastic. Home circuit, of course, for many a driver in this series. A lot of British drivers out there tonight. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great one. The test race that we've had over the last week, just sort of having a little bit of practice, have been a whole load of fun. So I think it's going to be very, very similar tonight.
For the championship standings going into this race meeting, David Baker leads the way for CQR Club, 20 points ahead of Matt Bunn, who is an AM driver. Dave White in 3rd, Stephen Baxter also in 3rd, joint 3rd place there, 617 points for those guys. Christian Rose in 5th, John Godfrey in 6th, Paul Denton 7th, Jos Honig in 8th, Osterkamp in 9th, and Pashali Scherges rounding out the top 10. Then in the AM standings, Matt Bunn leading the way there, David White 2nd, Stephen Baxter 3rd, Christian Rose in 4th, 5th Godfrey, 6th Denton, 7th Jos Honig, 8th Josh Thompson, 9th Nathan Davison, 10th is Kip Stevens for Pro Sim. And then in the team standings, Apex Racing leading the way. That was just seeing if the and the drivers were the same, Alex. CQR Club
very
2nd.
Very close, yeah.
Yeah. Apex Racing Academy in 3rd. Faker SimSport Europe in 4th. Pro Sim 5th. Team Ad 6th. 7th Vector SimSports Group. Then Radicals Online Pro Sim in 8th. Blue Flag Racing 9th. And 10th is Creative Racing with Virtual Drivers, Alpha Sim Sport, Orion Race Team, Lethal Racing, Gecko Vortex Sim Racing and Gap Sim Racing registered as not scoring any points so far. Interestingly though, Alex, after 8 races, Apex Racing UK only have 1 car inside the top 10 in Pashali Scherges, but they seem to be leading the team standings, so they're doing something right.
Yeah, I think just looking at what's gone on there, obviously it's the best 3 points that count of a particular race, and I think the guys have always been getting those 3 cars across the start-finish line in reasonable positions, but for the Drivers' Championship, there's always seems to be 1 DNF or 2 DNFs for the guys. So, yeah, they've certainly picked up a few places last race, so I think we'll see. And that goes for a lot of the pro drivers as well, not just the Apex lads as well. So there's a lot that started to pick up, and I think we'll start to see the pros gravitate more towards the top, much like we do with the Kia BSR TC Pro Series, and we'll have a very different sort of pro championship or overall championship and an AM championship as well. So yeah, just yeah, new season really, isn't it? And everyone's just sort of finding their feet at the moment. So very, very different race format to what we're used to with the official series.
Also in Historic then, we're using this layout today. It does eliminate 2 overtaking spots really, Alex. Club and the Abbey Chicane. Whereabouts are the drivers going to be doing their overtaking now then?
Yeah, I definitely feel like there's still an opportunity to maybe get a move done into Copse Corner if you get a good drive off of Luffield. Through Woodcote, you definitely can pick up enough slipstream to have a go there. As well, going down the Hanger Straight, there's certainly enough room to make a move into Stowe Corner as well. And actually we might have got rid of Abbey, but Priory now becomes a possibility for an overtake as well, because you can get a good run going into into Bridge. Yeah, it's quite easy to defend, but of course you can pinch somebody down and go around the outside of them, and you've got the inside for Priory then. So it does, yeah, it does take away, I would say, 1 overtaking opportunity. But I think with this little Renault, there is a little bit of dirty air, but there's still a good opportunity to use the slipstream to full advantage and get some moves done.
Last week at Zolder, we had plenty of action there, some big crashes along with some good racing, and the winners last time out. We started off the evening with Martin van Loozenholt, who's currently on pole position, taking the win in race 1. Race 2 went to Matt Bunn, showing the cat and mouse competition between Apex Racing and CQR, which we're going to have over the season. Trent Bullock-Bassey finally got an opportunity to show us what he can do with a win in race 3. And I believe Martin van Loozenholt backed up his race 1 win with a win in race 4, and indeed he did. So Martin, Alex, if he's anywhere near towards the front, seems to have the pace to just run away with races at the moment.
Yeah, very, very quick. Obviously, back into the car. I've talked about him before. Obviously, won the opening official series championship that we had in this car. So, no slouch, knows it well, and yeah, having a lot of fun back in there. So, I think when you're enjoying it as well, you're gonna perform well. So he's got a lot of stiff competition out there. I don't think he's going to have it all his way, and like I say, we're really going to start to see the pro drivers slowly gravitate towards the top, and we'll see this championship start to take some sort of shape with who's going to be going for what individual titles.
Not long to wait now before the end of qualifying. 20 seconds left on the clock. Martin van Loozenholt then on pole position at the moment. Just 0.2 of a second ahead of Samuel Lebert, who's currently second. Prashadi Jurgis in third. Trent Bullock-Bassey having a good qualifying for once. He's going to be in fourth at the moment. Fifth is Antoine Hegelin, with Oscar Mangan in sixth. Seventh, Jack Keithley. Peter Berryman in eighth. Ninth, René Osterkamp. And Christian Rose rounding up the top 10 championship leader. Dave Baker in 11th. And Pete Berryman, Alex, just at the end of the session, he's put the car into 11th place.
Into third, you mean?
Third place, yeah.
Yeah, just popped in there right at the death. I know Pete hasn't been able to do an awful lot of testing this week as well, so it's probably pretty hands-on for him while he's out there right now. But yeah, good job from him. And yeah, Dave Baker doing extremely well. Obviously leading the championship at the moment. So Dave, a driver who is super consistent, and this is going to make a huge difference to him as we just watch him go for a little trip. But yeah, that's going to make a big difference throughout this this sort of campaign to get into the showdown, where we're hoping we're going to end up with the grand final at the Sim Racing Expo, which has now been announced as well. So we're just that one step closer to getting everything that we promised confirmed. So just of course the whole idea was to end up on the stage there as well. So just just dotting some I's, crossing some T's, working with the guys there just to finalise this off. It's all agreed in principle. Just there's a few other little bits to wind through.
Session over then. We'll just see who else is on the track. We've got coming through the final corner now, Matt Bunn, second in the championship. Don't think he's going any reasonable. No, he's not. He's getting into the pits. So Simon Hodge.
Good. It looks full speed to me. Denton. He's got someone behind him. Oh no, maybe a lifted through there.
Looks like all these cars might just be on their way back to the pits. Yeah, Paul Denton and Stephen Baxter.
Two teammates.
Working our way through now. Yeah, we're advancing to the grid. So let's run you through the starting lineup for the opening race of the day. Martin van Loozenholt starting on pole position. Second is Samuel Lebert. Third, Peter Berryman. Fourth, Prashadi Jurgis. Seventh, fifth, Trent Bullock-Bassey. Sixth, Antoine Hegelin. Seventh, Oscar Mangan. Eighth, Jack Keithley. Ninth, René Osterkamp. And 10th, Christian Rose. 11th is David Baker. 12th, Josh Thompson. 13th, Ashley Blake Hood. 14th, Matt Bunn. 15th, Nathan Davies. 16th, Tanguy Pedrozzoli. 17th for Matthias Bonholtz, John Godfrey 18th, 19th James Nash, and 20th is John McHutchinson. Paul Denton starting in 21st, Jos Honig starting in 22nd, Paul Smith 23rd, 24th Mark Pickford, Tom Depker in 25th, 26th Daniel McCauley, 27th Stephen Baxter, 28th Ralph Cullinan, 29th David White, and 30th Simon Hodge. Pierre Minier starting in 31st, Kip Stevens 32nd, 33rd for Alan Morgan, Kevin Balthazar 34th, and then the cars that didn't set times in qualifying, Andy Scheel, Matthias Jensen, Catalin Gra, Michael Hall starting in 38th, and Alan Mitchell starting in 39th place, Alex.
A couple of drivers with some penalties, I think, that have got to be served, so back of the grid for them. Be yeah, it's going to be a great race. Looking forward to this one.
I think it's going to be hard for you to bet against anyone but Martin van Loozenhoorn.
Oh, I don't know. I think the guys right behind him are equally as quick. I think so. He's not going to have it all his own way. Then I might just be completely wrong and he might run away. But yeah, I think it's going to be pretty close.
Wait with interest. Oh, wait with intrigue then. 20 seconds to go before the race gets underway. 11 laps here around the Silverstone Historic today. Of course, 4 races. And race 2, 3 and 4, the grid will be set there by a reverse grid. Wheel of Fortune will decide how many cars get reversed to set the grid for the second race of the day. Here we go then.
Green, green, green.
Green lights on and we're away for the first race here in the BSR MSA Formula 4 Championship. Van Loozenhoorn gets away well, so is Samuel Lebert and Pete Berryman. So it's going to be an apex 1, 2, 3 going into the first corner. Can Chembola Bassi spoil the party? He's going to try and get past Paschaly Sturgis here. Contact's made. Off goes Paschaly Sturgis. He's able to just rescue the car, Alex, before he would have hit the tyre wall. Yeah,
it looked a bit netcode there, I think, more than anything. There was absolute mile between them, so a bit unfortunate for Paschalis there, but as long as he's still going, that's, I think, what he'll care about. He's got the opportunity to fight back, and we've seen what the reverse grids can do.
Dan Hanger straight for the first time, then Van Loozenhoorn under pressure already from his teammate Samuel Lebert going into Stowe. Around the outside goes Samuel Lebert. Van Loozenhoorn will go back up the inside. The car twitching, going through that corner and out towards Club and Vale. Of course, much quicker now since we're using the historic layout, and Chembola Bassi getting past Peter Berryman as well. So. Chembola Bassi now through into third place. Good start from him.
Yeah, great start from him.
Now into,
very good.
Now going through the Abbey left-hander and change for the lead again. Van Loozenhoorn up the inside of Samuel Lebert, so he takes the lead back and changes already all throughout the top 10. You can see there a battle between Jack Keithley up the inside of Oscar Mangan. Another Apex car losing a position in the early going here. And off is Van Loozenhoorn, Alex. That is in the final corner. That is Luffield. Oh, he loses it on the exit of Brooklands. And going into Luffield, spins the car and looking not to get collected by anyone.
Yeah, and he'll have quite a slowdown there as well. It's going to take a while to serve. Take a quick look, see exactly how he did it. But just got the lead back as well. So... big mistake for Martin. Did he just run a little bit deep? Yeah, he did, and just got out of shape. And the first lap around here with the sort of morning conditions, the tyres take a little while to come up to pressure. Car's really, really snappy, and it's very difficult to save, and that's exactly what we've seen there. And Martin's still dropping down the order at the moment, trying to get this penalty served, I'm sure.
And Loozenhoorn down to 23rd place at this race. He'll probably be with his teammate Paschaly Sturgis. Both of those guys started towards the front, and now it's Samuel Lebert leading the way. Chembola Bassi up to second place, a gain of 3 positions. Peter Berryman in third. Then it is Antoine Hegel in fourth, and fifth is Oscar Mangan, followed by Jack Keithley, Josh Thompson, and pretty much the rest of the field after that. It is so close in this battle for 6th place.
Good little battle there as well between Keithley and Mangan. Mangan just able to get up a place, but I don't think Jack's going to give that up too quickly. Josh Thompson behind as well, having a little sniff, maybe looking up the inside of Bridge, and Keithley around the outside of Oscar Mangan there. Like I said, this is where you can get the inside, right there at Priory. That's where it opens up, and great move from Jack Keithley, gets that place back.
Good racing so far in the early going. 11 laps, of course. Oscar Mangan now having to defend from Josh Thompson, Apex Academy driver, and René Osterkamp going off of Luffield to complete the second lap of the race. Across the line we go then. Samuel Lebert does 1:34.958, his fastest lap of the race, and the fastest lap of the race so far. Just up the inside goes Thompson, has a little look on Mangan, and this is going to allow the opportunity for Osterkamp, Alex. He got a brilliant run on the exit of Cops.
Yeah, Josh kind of opened the door for Osterkamp there by going for that move, that side by side. He's going to try and hold it around the outside. That's brave. And good driving from both as well. Nathan Davis now in the hump, wants to have a little look at that. Behind them we've got Christian Rowe and Osterkamp off and slow as well. He'll have a slow down there. Look at the stream of traffic coming by him there. Everyone tucked up in the slipstream. Don't know where to look really.
Osterkamp losing a ton of spots, went off on the exit of Chapel. He's down to 16th place now, down 7 positions from where he started. And yeah, so many cars bunched together here from 10th on back. Leading the way, Nathan Davis in his Apex Simulators car. Then it's Christian Rose, CQR driver, David Baker as well. On my screen anyway, he's being shown an Apex car, but I do believe he's driving for CQR in this championship, Alex, am I correct? I think so.
Yeah, I think you just need to get the updated paint pack, and that'll be fine. He's showing a CQR mine. Turn that trading paints off.
Yeah. Probably what it is, to be fair. Going into Brooklands then to complete lap 3. All nose to tail here really for the positions just towards the end of the top 10. And everyone else really starting to build a gap. Samuel Lebert got a 1.2 second lead over Cembolok Bassi. Had a good race meeting at Sebring, which was the opening race meeting of the season. Took a win there. And the Frenchman Alex, he seems to be doing well here today. He's already got a 1.6 second lead, started second, and after the demise of Van Loozenhoorn, seems to be in control of matters at the front.
Yeah, doing great out there. Who's this? Actually, Blake Hood, I think, side by side with James Nash. And that's not James Nash, the touring car driver. We should nickname him that, I think.
Down the hanger straight we go then. Yeah, this is bunching up nicely here, and there is John Godfrey also in the mix, 3 wide down the hanger straight then. How's this going to work going into Stowe? Oh, round the outside goes the Braun GP livery car. That is Sponholz, who had a huge incident at Zolder. 3 wide on the exit of Stowe as well. Sponholz just pulling away from Blake Hood and Osterkamp. Osterkamp trying to get those positions back that he lost earlier on. Oh, and round the outside goes Osterkamp using the runoff area there. Does that give you an incident point, Alex, going on to that runoff area on the exit?
As long as you get in before the grass, you're all good. Looks like Loozenhoorn having a little look on his teammate right now. Godfrey just sort of moving to the right. He's going to concede the place here as Martin will have the inside, and indeed, up and past, so recovering back to... Oh, there's a crash ahead as well. A couple of drivers at Osterkamp involved in that.
Yeah, that was Osterkamp, and who was that? That was actually Blake Hood. Fortunately, they didn't spin, but they did pick up damage. I think actually Blake Hood picks up a bit of damage to the front wing of the car as Van Loozenhoorn gets by now. That's him up into 15th place, wasting no time at all in getting these positions back. Osterkamp trying to follow him through as well. And Paschaly Gerges up the inside of Osterkamp into Copse, and I think that will allow Gerges through as well. John Godfrey also in the mix there. Pedrozzoli versus David Baker.
Yep, exactly the battle I was just going to take a quick look at as well. So Baker, very, very close. Couldn't able to get anything done there, but he's got a great run coming off of the Magnets there, and down the hanger straight. Surely it's going to go around the outside of Stoke. There's an opportunity for to throw it back up the inside, and he does. That's good defending there. And fair driving from Dave as well. He could have really sort of pinched him in, but he decided not to do that.
Guy Pedrozzoli, David Baker and Matt Bunn all together here in this battle over 10th place. Pedrozzoli's had a good race so far, up 6 positions. David Baker stayed in 11th place. Now going through Abbey. Not the most conventional line taken there by Pedrozzoli. He's just trying to try and hold his own here, going into the final sector of the lap.
Battle behind
Baker
as well.
Way through.
Nash around the outside of Sponholz. And well, he got the move done, but then back around, and then we're 3 wide going through Brooklands. And that's Loozenhoorn trying to work his way through both of these drivers at the same time.
And now Van Loozenhoorn fancies his piece of the action. There is almost an overlap there, but Sponholz is good enough to close him off. Blimey, he's running him right up to the pit wall there. You can see the dust getting kicked up. Into the first corner, James Nash having to take a slow line in his pursuits of staying ahead of Sponholz. Sponholz trying to get the position into Maggots and Beckett, so he needs to try and set him up through here so he can get the position going down the hanger straight. But look, Van Loozenhoorn, he's getting close now as well.
Not much changes going on up front, guys. Sorry, that's why we're not really covering that. Peter Berman slowly getting closer to Cembolok Bassi. Antoine Higgling coming along with him. So I think give it a little lap, we'll have a battle for the podium. But right now, this is where all the action is.
And Loozenhoorn v Sponholz then going into Stowe. The Apex car going to go around the outside. Oh, wow. And he does it whilst putting a few wheels into the grass, though. And he's able to get going again. And yeah, Barcelona losing all now through into 14th place. He's just gained about 10 positions, I think, in the space of 2 laps or so.
Yeah, Pascalis Jurgis as well tries to follow him around, but can't make it work. Both drivers recovering pretty well, I have to say. What else is going on? Right, let's have a quick look then. Berryman now 0.3 of a second behind Jem, so this is really starting to hot up just a little bit up ahead.
Nathan Davis seems to be dropping down the order. What's happened to him? Has he had a quick off? Yeah, he's just had a quick excursion through on the exit of Priory, so that's put him down. Ashley Blake could dropping down the order as well.
Yeah, what's going on with Ash? Oh, he's around. And he recovers back onto the racing line. Everyone around him safely. No further issues there, but yeah, small mistake. Have a look as Berryman now closes in. Apex Racing versus Radicals Online. How often do we say that?
Happens a bit, doesn't it? And Ashley Blake is now down to 27th place. So not what he wanted at all there. Lap 7 then. Chembol at Bassi versus Pete Berryman. And both of these were, well, of course, Pete Berryman races in the World Championship Grand Prix Series. Chembol Bassi will be joining him in that later in the year. And David Baker also just getting involved in a battle there. He's just got past Nathan Davis, and just in front of him, Pedrozzoli and Christian Rose continue their battle. Two-car battles seem to be forming here as the race progresses. Plenty to look at.
Looking back from the rear wing of Jim's Formula Renault there, and Pete getting very, very close. I thought maybe he was thinking about a little dive up the inside there of Priory. Thinks better off it, just settles back in.
Off of Luffield then, when we get to the line, 4 laps to go. Chembol Bassi, we'll see what his lap time is when he gets around to complete the lap. He comes across the line now and does a 35.1, 35.1 as well for Pete Berryman, so very close lap times here. Chembol Bassi just edges it by about 200ths. But yeah, those two very close. Christian Rose and David Baker continue to be very close going into Cops. This is over 9th and 10th again. CQR crash in front of them. Sorry, spin in front of them. That was who was it? That is Tanguy Pedrozzoli.
Yeah, coming out of Cops Corner. Let's take a quick look at that back. See exactly what happened.
I lost it on entry, I think. Would have been a bit of a surprise for David Baker and Christian Rose for having a battle at the inside.
Fortunately, he just sort of went out of the way, didn't he? You know, just didn't cause any issues. That could have been so much worse.
And that's put him down to 17th place, which isn't too far off where he started. He started in 16th, had a good race up to that point, Pedrozzoli, but yeah, he's now down in 17th position. Optimal position for a reverse grid.
Matt Bunn and Nathan Davis.
Oh yeah, going into Bridge and Brooklands and Priory. Very close here. Round the outside is the car behind that is Pascalis Jurgis trying to get by James Nash. Should have the inside for Luffield. Up the inside goes Pascalis Jurgis, and that should be 13th place for the Apex Racing UK driver. Good run off the final corner there, and that is Jurgis recovering well up to 13th place. Next car on his list is Nathan Davis, and that Apex Simulators car is just in front of them. Side by side between Van Loosenord and Baker, is it? Yes, Baker gets forced out wide. EQR versus Apex Racing here. And into Maggots and Beckett's. It is just going to be Van Loosenord that gets the place. He is now up into 8th.
Yeah, Martin's recovery continues. He's got 5 seconds to Josh Thompson. I don't think he's going to get any closer with just 3 laps to go, or two and a bit. One battle that hasn't finished though is Jack Keithley and Oscar Mangan. They've been nip and tuck all race long, nothing between them. Once again, Keithley up the inside going into Vale. Will slightly compromised line coming off of club. And has to go very, very wide. Good run for Mangan. Maybe he'll get an opportunity to get back by going into Bridge. He has a little look, but thinks better of it this time. Oh, Bullock Bassi He's around.
No.
A mistake from him. These two are going to come up on him very, very quickly. Keithley to the inside. Can't get the move finished. And yeah, just looks like perhaps overheated rears as well for Jem. It's going to take a lap or so just to get them back to a reasonable level. This has got to be Jack's best opportunity to get a run. It looks more like Mangan though, who's got the bit between his teeth. 0.2 of a second as they come across the start-finish line.
An ultimate lap, then lap 9 of 10. Chembola Bassi started the last lap in second. He's now in 4th. Podium going away from there. Oh, that is close. That is very close. Versus Jack Keithley versus Oscar Mangan. Be careful, guys. Up the inside goes Keithley. Mangan still holding his own round the outside. He goes back up the inside and takes the place. Jack Keithley won't give up, though. He's going to get the run on the exit of Chapel. Mangan didn't have the best line there, and now he's going to pick up the slipstream. This is going to be brilliant to watch down the Hanger Straight. The battle over 5th and 6th. A spot in the top 5 up for grabs here. Jack Keithley moving to the outside, going into Stowe. And Oscar Mangan should just hold on to the place here. Yeah, he is just clear. And that is a great battle there between those guys, Alex, and it's not over yet.
No, not at all. I think these two seem to be pretty much identical on pace, so they're just sort of using the draft just to get back by each other. Slight differences in lines. Oscar keeping it much tighter through the exit of Club as well, minimising the distance, but of course doesn't carry the speed. Now got Jack with this slipstream having a look down to the inside of Bridge. Can't make it up the inside to pinch down Oscar through Priory, and settles in as we go into Brooklands.
Eagling through into second place past Pete Berryman. So change of position there, and just as I say that, Eagling goes wide on the exit of the final corner, and this might allow Pete Berryman his opportunity to try and take that second place back as we start the final lap. He's going to move to the outside here. Eagling covering the inside, and round the outside Berryman will go, and Higglin's nice enough to give him the space and the room, and Pete Berryman back up into second place as we start the last lap.
Yeah, no team orders, but I think the two teammates just making sure that they don't do anything silly on the final lap. I don't want to curse myself right now and watch them end up in some big ball of smoke and fire everywhere. But yeah, I'm hoping they're being sensible out there. Where's the bear right now?
Yeah,
he hasn't had much airtime. Well, in fact, he said no airtime looking at the on-air counter. So he's been leading this race pretty much the whole way. But 6.6 seconds. Well clear out there. Again, these two going at it around the outside. Higgling goes, he's going to have the inside for Vale, so battle for second place isn't over yet.
The inside goes, around the outside I should say, goes Higgling, and that is him through back into second place. And it looks like it's going to be an Apex 1, 2, 3 again here. It's been the story of Apex Racing UK so far this season. CQR, the only team to knock Apex Racing off their perch, and that was at Zolder last week. Through the final corner then goes Samuel Lebert, 7-second lead, started second, took the lead after the demise of Martin van Loozenhoorn at the end of lap 1, and hasn't looked back since. Samuel Lebert comes through the final corner, takes the checkered flag and wins race 9 of the Formula Renault Championship here. Antoine Higgling comes through, takes second place. Third for Pete Berryman. Chembola Bassi could have got second, finished 4th instead. Oscar Mangan should just finish ahead of Jack Keithley after a brilliant battle between those guys. And side by side to the line, it's Thompson or Loozenhoorn, and it is Josh Thompson by just 300th of a second. David Baker behind them, and Christian Rose coming across the line to get a CQR car inside the top 10.
This little group as well, tailed up at the end of that. Well, the back of that was Osterkamp. Never really recovered from his mistake that he made, but still in there. And if I'm not mistaken, did we only lose one driver in that whole race?
Out of the ones that started, yeah, only one, Alan Mitchell, and he was around pretty much right at the start of the race. Andy Scheel and Matthias Jensen didn't take the start.
Yeah, here we're having a battle with Kevin Balthasar, just for the sort of 31st and 32nd. Quite managed to pull anything off, but battles all through the field. That's what we like to see.
And it's a trait that this Silverstone circuit carries over across many of the BSR series. Alan Morgan comes across the line to take 35th, and then we're just going to wait for Michael Hall in his CQR car to come across the line and take 36th place. Michael Hall not having the best start to the season, runs well in the Kia Optima, 24th in the standings going into this race meeting for the CQR Club team. On he goes. And in all fairness to him, if he gets the full, he'll be on the front row of the reverse grid. But Alex, yeah, race 1. We see the fast guys at the front, and they put on a good show for us.
Yeah, good. Well, I think everybody put on a good show, to be honest. There was battling going on all through the pack. I think we missed some of it as well because there was just so much happening. So, yeah, good first race of the meeting. I think we often see this, don't we? The first race. Obviously, everybody qualifies, tends to string out a little bit. I mean, we saw a lot of in battle in there, so that was good. But yeah, I think like race 2, 3, and 4. That's where all the madness happened. So if you enjoyed that first race, stick around. We've got 3 more reverse grid coming up. In fact, I better get the old wheel of fortune up and running. Otherwise, we won't be able to sort that out.
The finishing order then, Samuel Lebert takes the win, Antoine Hegelen finishing in 2nd place ahead of Pete Berryman in 3rd, Chen Bullock-Bassey finishing in 4th, Oscar Mangan 5th, Jack Keithley 6th, 7th Josh Thompson, 8th Martin van Loozenord, 9th David Baker, and Christian Rose rounding up the top 10. Top 10 separated by just under 20 seconds. Pashaly Scherges finishing in 11th, James Nash 12th, 13th for Matt Bunn, 14th for Matthias Bonholtz, 15th John Godfrey, 16th place for Tanguy Pedrozzoli, Daniel McCauley finishing 17th, 18th John McHutchinson, 19th Nathan Davis and 20th Paul Denton. 21st place for René Osterkamp, 22nd Jos Honig, 23rd Paul Smith, won in the Kia Cup on Saturday night, and yeah, racing here today. 24th David White, 25th Mark Pickford, 26th Tom Depker, 27th Ashley Blake Hood, 28th Stephen Baxter, 29th Catalin Gra, 30th for Ralph Cullinan, Calvin Balthazar finished in 31st, Pierre Minier finishing in 32nd, Kip Stevens 33rd, Alan Morgan 34th, Michael Hall finishing in 35th place, as we were just speaking about a moment ago, Simon Hodge 1 lap down in 36th place, and Alan Mitchell 5 laps down, and yeah, Andy Scheel and Matthias Jensen didn't take the start of the race. And then reverse grid time. Hey Simpson, the man with the wheel. Let's get the show on the road then.
Yeah, we'll have to see how quickly I could create a scene. As it won't pick up the new wheel, but here we go. Let's try and do that as sharpish as I can. So excuse me while everything goes black.
That's not the Christmas wheel, is it?
Well, hello. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Woodhouse.
Hello.
Probably sounds like in a chirpier mood than me at the moment if you're checking the football scores.
Oh dear.
What can
talk about football after the other night? What happens when you play on an artificial pitch, ladies and gentlemen?
Well, what can you say? When you want things to go right, they never do. And unfortunately, the wheel has just crashed my system.
Oh dear.
Right, is it time to just Google
Hold on, wait a minute,
number generator?
I can do that, it's alright. I can sort that out.
Right, minimum. What are the numbers, Alex? Because Google does one for you.
15 to 26, is it? Or 16 to 20?
Let's try one more time.
Okay.
I have to have a moan at Ashley. I know I got it!
You got it?
It works!
We've got the theme tune going on in the background to keep everyone entertained anyway. Right. Whew! Here we go then. First time for the night. Bit more of a vicious spin this time, Ash. Thank you for that. Right, where are we going to end up? Oh, still spinning. I don't think we're going to get a full. No, we're not. Looks like 25th place.
25th goes to Mark Pickford. He's going to be starting in pole position. David White 2nd. Paul Smith will be starting in 3rd. Jos Honig 4th. And René Osterkamp in 5th. So
well, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I did a random number generator myself, and it came up as 25th. So the wheel is 100% authentic, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
There you go, Alex.
Well, on that note, we're going to take a step aside. And please stay with us. We'll get set for the second race of the day, round 10 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Formula 4 Championship. So don't go anywhere.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
the outside contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even. Give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live, and of course on Jinx TV. We're getting ready for the second race of the day, round 10 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Formula Renault. Yes, that's right, Renault Championship in association with the Apex Racing League. This second race is also sponsored by GT Omega. Adam Bath here along with iRacing World Championship driver Alex Simpson. And iRacing Road Pro Series commentator Andrew Woodhouse should be in the car, but isn't, for reasons inexplicable. We'll see if we can get him in the car later on, but for now he's on the sidelines. But yeah, Alex, good first race, and yeah, Pickford's on pole position, and it's a 25 car reverse grid, so quite a big one.
Yeah, probably one of the larger ones we've seen, apart from the fall. So. But yeah, you seem a little unsure of everything today. So yeah, just to confirm, Renault 2.0, GT Omega Racing, Jinx Esport TV. It's one of those. It's one of those evenings, mate. You know.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Maybe it's the 2 AM broadcast setting in from earlier on. Right, we're heading down to the grid then. Where on earth is my live timing? There it is. Pole position is Mark Pickford. Second, David White. Third, Paul Smith. Fourth, Jos Honig. Fifth, René Osterkamp. Sixth, Paul Denton. Seventh is Nathan Davis. Eighth, John McCutchinson. Ninth, Daniel Macaulay. And 10th, Tanguy Pedrozzoli. 11th, John Godfrey. 12th, Matthias Bonholtz. Matt Bunn starting in 13th. 14th is James Nash. Pashali Shergis in 15th place. 16th, Christian Rose. 17th, David Baker. 18th, Martin van Loozenhoort. 19th, Josh Thompson. Jack Keithley, 20th. 21st, Oscar Mankin. 22nd, Chen Bollock Bassi. 23rd, Pete Berryman. 24th, Antoine Higelin. 25th, our race one winner, Samuel Lebert. 26th, Tom Depke. 27th, Ashley Blake Hood. 28th, Stephen Baxter. 29th, Catelyn Gra. And 30th is Ralph Cullinan. 37 cars starting this race. About to head down, and we'll get the lights, and we'll get race 2 underway.
Who's your money on then, Adam?
Oh, I might say Paul Smith. Go for an underdog. Here we go.
Here we go.
Lights are on then.
Green.
Three lights on and we're away. A good start from Pickford away from the line. Where's David White going to go? He's got a good second phase at the start. In fact, that's Paul Smith, actually. They might fancy his chances going into Copse Bend for the first time. Through the long right-hander we go. Paul Smith trying to take second place away. I think he's got it here. But now he's under pressure from Jos Honig. He's trying to make it 3 wide going into Magus and Beckett. Oh dear, hold on, folks. This might not end well. Round the outside goes Honig. He's going to take third away from Paul Smith. Paul Smith demoted to 4th place there under pressure from René Osterkamp now, who had a poor race one, trying to get some positions back here. Off is the second place car. David White's bouncing all over the curbs, and there's a crash in the background, Alex. Wow, big one. Cars scattering all over the place. We've got Samuel Lebert, our race one winner, off. Reminds me of a crash we had here in 2006 in the British Grand Prix. I think Scott Speed and Ralph Schumacher were involved in that. Those two seem to ring a bell. But Mark picked
see
a good
what
start.
happened there. I think probably just narrowed down. Someone went off, rejoined. Then what happened? Yeah, someone just went straight on. I'm not really sure exactly what happened there. Massive incident. Who was that who went straight on? Can you?
Pedrozzoli off at the Vale chicane, Alex, as well.
Yeah, that's what just happened there, and also Simon Hodges lost it. But
He
yeah,
just appeared to go straight on. I'm not sure if he hit anything, but I just saw him missing the corner.
Well, if you can, Adam, just have a quick look, see who cut across and rejoined the circuit as well. It looked like an academy car. It looked like he went straight though. So I don't know if it was hardware issue or what was going on there. But yeah, it didn't end well and caused that massive collision.
it was get the name and shame time. Let me just check. No, it wasn't. He was the one that got taken out. It was quickly tell you. It was John Godfrey.
They are too wide into Maggots and Beckett's, boys.
Oh yeah, Smith.
Paul Smith and Pascalis Georgis. Georgis is through in the S's.
Oh,
Tell you what, you don't see many moves done there.
Yeah, Smith trying to fight back though. He's got the inside down and into Stowe.
Into Stowe, then round the outside will go Pashali Shershis. That's going to be 4th place for him, a gain of 11 spots so far. Tell you what, Alex, That Apex Racing Academy car of Godfrey is pretty much taken, well, has definitely hampered about 3 of your team. Yeah.
I did notice 3 of the academy team are out, so for the amateurs, yeah, not the start that they wanted.
Osterkamp through into second place, side by side with Honig going into bridge, and he's through. So Osterkamp up into second place now. How far is he away from Mark Pigford? About 1 and a bit seconds. And side by side in the background, that's Paul Smith about to lose another position. Paul Denton, the 2 Pauls. On the outside goes Denton. That's going to become the inside line for the final corner, Luffield. Also battling away with McHutchinson and Sponholtz. And Sponholtz might lose another position to the car of Jack Keithley going through on the exit of Luffield.
Yeah, Keithley just to the right of us now as we're on board with Sponholtz to leave some room. A little bit of extra overspeed, so might be able to swing in through Cops. He does, and holds onto the position. Jim having a little look around the outside. Oh, they go 3 wide again. Peter Berriman looking to the outside. He will have what will be the inside, but no one's giving here. Oh, it's very, very tight. Jem running a little bit wide, almost back onto into Pete. Somehow they survived that, and yeah, great little battle there. 3 top flight drivers there, giving absolutely no room, but managing to avoid each other. And who's this in the background? It looks like someone just sticking their nose in. I think that's Daniel McCallie there as well, at the inside of Dave Baker.
Benjamin round the outside, Alex as well. He's through into Vale. You've also got Keithley. Keithley nearly loses it in the background, and Bollock Bassi is there, Adam, as well. There's 4 of them in a little pack now.
Sponholtz, yeah, as well, in the mix of McHutchinson going into bridge. Oh, I'm looking at a different battle, of course. This is Paul Denton v Paul Smith. Sponholtz and McHutchinson in the way there as well. Oh no!
Go.
And around goes Keithley. No, I like it. It's David Baker. CQR car around. Going to get going again. Oh, be careful, David. And he gets away there. Just behind Van Luzenold and Kevin Balthazar.
Just a word on Sponholtz. We saw him catapulting through the air at Zolder last week. He's doing a lot better than that now. He's managed to make it through
oh, look at this.
At least the first lap, but the 2x2 again, Alex, so take it away, my friend. I'm just here to spot the action and see if we can find some crashes.
Yeah, and Paul Smith in there as well. Look at this again into Beckett's. And yeah, I've seen some great racing through here. Oh no,
bye Paul.
Oh dear.
Paul Smith.
Oh, Smith.
Cursed him.
We don't run the national circuit, Paul. We're not racing that today.
Well, that's why you don't work for the rival broadcaster, because things like that happen.
Well, heading down the back straight, then Sponholtz is going to try and get up the inside of Berryman. Berryman going to get caught out there, and Sponholtz is up the inside. Just say, whilst we've been looking at all these battles, the last lap, Osterkamp did get past Mark Pickford, but it was relatively straightforward. Up the inside goes Berryman, then into Club and Vale. That is him back through. And just in front of these guys, it is close between Pickford and Gergis in the battle for second place. Up the inside goes Gergis, and that is position gain to number 13 for him. The Apex UK car up another position.
Alex, just to ask you a little bit of questions, just to get a bit of an insight. Are you quite surprised that Peter Berryman, considering he won an overall championship, is sort of mired in this group at this point?
No, he's working his way forward. I think, it's close, but I think this circuit amongst all the others, it was going to be, very, very close. All this high-speed corners, and it's a lot harder to get moves done, and you can't really break away because obviously the slipstream really keeps you intact. So I'm not surprised it's taking Pete a little while, but he's working his way through there. I think now he's clear. He will maybe scamper away as he's run just a little bit wide there through Cops. You have to be so careful not to spin out there when you do that. So, but he survives, and yeah, this is a great battle behind him.
Mob scene, isn't it? And well, Adam, it's one of the best. I know you love this section, mate. The Beckett's and Maggots section, and it just standing next to the track there, it just really brings home just how manoeuvrable and how fast and how fearless these drivers are.
Yeah, definitely. And since they've changed the circuit as Sponholtz, as Keithley and McHutchinson continue a battle, since they changed it in 2010, they've really widened the exit of Club, of Chapel So it's a brilliant exit onto the hanger straight now. And here we go, 3 wide then, Keithley in through the middle, McCutchinson to his left, to his right is Sponholtz. We've tried 3 wide through Maggots and Beckett's and it worked just about. Now through Abbey.
Oh dear!
Oh my word! And up the inside is Sponholtz into Bridge. It works just, and up the inside goes McCutchinson on Sponholtz into Priory, now into Brooklands. Up the inside goes the Apex car of Higgelen. So second place there. He's now trying to get a position.
I've never seen 3 wide between Abbey and Bridge before, Adam. That's crazy, mate. Absolutely bonkers racing.
Drivers have got no fear here, have they? Here comes Higgelen then to start lap 6 of the race, 4 laps to go. Sorry, 6 laps to go. As we go through the first corner, Copse.
Oh, someone's quite slow off the corner. Is it Keithley?
Looks like Sponholtz.
Oh, Sponholtz, sorry.
Yeah, and Chembol at Bassey trying to get past Higgelen as well. I'm trying to get positions here.
Alex, you've set up the Renault quite a lot, mate.
Oh, no.
Oh, there goes.
Oh,
there we go. There goes Keith. Oh, there goes all of them.
All of them, literally all of them.
Higgeland's got through. And Smith.
That's what can happen when you're running in such close proximity with each other, unfortunately. A little accident like that, it can just spiral out of control. As Higgeland's having a weave around, see how much damage he's got on his car. Looks pretty severe, very slow in a straight line. You're just trying to hold on, I'm sure.
I was just going to ask you, mate, you know, because obviously you set up the Apex track guides for this for these circuits in this car. Is it really an emphasis on low downforce around here, or is it?
It's not. The car
high
itself
downforce?
is quite surprisingly high downforce in most places. You can run it lower in some places, but you really it's high. It's more downforce than you would think. You know, any other car kind of thing. You're still on the higher end of the low downforce. There's very limited amount of adjustments we do on the aero. So
you think some drivers will be running the lower setting?
Some. I mean, 'cause it does still make quite a difference. Like 4 clicks on the front wing.
Oh, Higgelen!
Will you know, that'll be quite a difference in straight line speed. Maybe sort of 5-6 kilometers an hour as well. So you know, places like here, you know, at the end of a hanger straight, that will make a difference.
Adam Higgelen's been in the gravel, mate, just there, and he's lost place.
Yeah, went off in the final corner, and yeah, lost the position to Paul Smith, who's just got up to 9th place. Now here comes Ralph Cullinan. Brilliant race from him, up 19 positions. Might be the biggest move through the field. Actually, Alan Mitchell is up 20 spots. But yeah, Higgelen under pressure from Cullinan. Change between Berryman and Denton going into Stowe. That is Berryman through into 5th place now, up 18 positions. Paul Denton back down to 6th. And Nathan Davis and Martin van Loosen all the battling. Whoa, Ralph Cullinan, that battle, sorry, actually continues. We'll have a look at that instead, because Higgelen trying to get past Paul Smith and Cullinan trying to get past Higgelen here. So a nice 3-car battle here on lap 7.
Do we think that the Vale chicane on this historic layout, do we think it aids the overtaking or prevents it somewhat, Alex? Do you reckon? Oh, side by side. Here we go.
Into Bridge, change position in front, car off. It's Honig. What happened to Josh Honig going into Brooklands? It looks like loses it on entry, and that is Honig down to 7th place now.
2 or 3 places lost then for the Dutchman.
It was away, you know, he was way up front, so it's still a fairly reasonable result for him. Be happy with that, I think. Disappointed with the mistake, but he can hold on.
It's having a good run, isn't he, mate? Really, considering
every week,
that
you know, he's always there,
really
isn't
see
he?
him generally. We don't really see him in the single seaters very much. Our old Apex colleague. He tends to do a very good job in whatever car he races in, really. Adam, I know you've raced wheel to wheel with him in quite a few different series.
Who are we talking about here again?
Paul Smith?
Paul Smith, yeah, Paul Smith's doing well.
The Yorkshireman?
Well, he's doing well inside the top 10. Won a few BSR Kia Cup Series races so far this season. I think he won at Interlagos, which me and Alex were commentating on, along with Conrad on Saturday. All running wide though on the exit of Stowe. That will get a bit of dirt onto his RaceBot livery car.
Oh, look at this guy, sorry. Alan Mitchell, Ashley Blake Hood, Simon Hodge, down and into Stowe corner. 3 wide, going in there. They filtered out somewhat. Blake Hood easing it off there. I don't know if he's got any damage or something, but drops to the back of that pack. They continue as they were, but yeah, that was great. And then back to the Paul Smith and Ralph Cullinan battle was there side by side again.
Luke Bassey was side by side with Davies as well. That was in front of this battle. That was 13th and 14th. Martin van Loosenod's in this group with Kip Stevens, Ashley Blake Hood. It's quite a star-studded battle, really, from our point of view, Adam. Really, this.
Definitely, yeah, and plenty of big names involved. If any of them can gain any of the positions inside the final 3 laps of the race.
Stevens driving a lot of cars this season, and as usual, just applying himself well and having a good run in all of them. Here comes Baker, though. Baker on Smith. These two are old teammates in Lugnuts Racing. They won the team's championship back in 2015, Adam. 2014 or 2015, sorry.
And they were also stable mates last season, sort of. Baker was racing for Race Hub, of course, and Paul Smith was at the CQR Academy team. He's going to try and get past Cullinan here. Who's the Apex car? CQR car. It's David Baker. Really need to update that paint, don't I? Here comes Paul Smith round the outside going into Stowe. And David Baker will try and follow him through here. Baker trying to get 10th place. A spot inside the top 10 will be good for Baker.
Oh, he's good. Oh.
Let's have a look around the outside into Club, but no way through there. Going through Vale now, this long right-hander. Of course, where the new pits are. Baker.
Having done the BSR Porsche Cup race last week, it's a nice flowing layout, the fast Vale chicane of the Club, and there goes Baker on the inside in Bridge, and he's through on Cullinan. So really, Cullinan twitching as well, trying to control the car. But yeah, the Club being a little bit faster, Alex. It seems to suit the rhythm of the circuit a little bit more, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely, and it's not as tricky on the exit. It makes a huge difference, you know, with that fast flow to it. So yeah, I have to say I love this layout. Just amazing flow to it.
Doesn't necessarily help overtaking into the bend, but definitely coming out of it helps, doesn't it?
Oh, yep, yeah, absolutely. Like I say, you can get a good run from there as well if you nail the exit. So. Having a quick look at Jack Heathley closing in on his teammate Paul Denton. Has a little look to the inside and through. Denton just lets him through. No issues there.
Denton up to 5th place, a gain of 15 positions for Jack. Paul Denton back down to 6th position. And going through now. A car going slow there. Who's that? That's just letting cars through. That is Samuel Lebert, who is a lap down. If he stays a lap down, he should still be in contention for the reverse grid for the 3rd and final race of the day, and I'm sure Samuel Lebert knows that, so just wants to make sure that he finishes the race.
Well, if he gets a full Adam, he'll be right near the front.
Yeah. Osterkamp v Gergis, actually. This is starting to get a bit intriguing. We're starting the final lap of the race, and Gergis is starting to get pretty close now to René Osterkamp. He's probably too far behind to get the win. But it could cause some problems late on as Baker and Paul Smith battle again, and Smith's gone. Where has Paul Smith gone? Oh, he's lost it on the exit of... was it through...
Fiery, isn't it?
Oh, he lost it on his own. Around he goes.
Gergis hasn't had a great season so far, has he? But we saw him have some issues last week. And in the Porsche Cup, he took quite a few people out of the first corner as well. But doing quite well here in Silverstone. Trying to hunt down René Osterkamp. He's not got long left. How many laps do you reckon?
This is the last lap.
3. This is it really?
Yeah, it is.
We're not at the 20-minute mark yet.
It's an 11-lap race, though.
It is the point. We're used to these timed races. Alex keeps moaning about these timed races, and then suddenly we've got laps. Here we go.
11 minutes or 11 laps or 20 minutes, whatever comes first.
That's the stupidity of the commentator right there, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, Jack Keithley.
Keithley's getting closed up on by Pickford at the minute.
Yeah.
And then Denton is there as well, Adam.
Going into the final few corners then for Osterkamp. It looks like it might have just been a lap too late for Paschaly Gergis. And we're going to have our 3rd team take a win. It's been Apex and CQR all the way so far this season, but Rene Osterkamp's going to come through and take the win in race 2 of the day for Vector Sim Sports Group. He wins race 2. Second for Gergis, third is going to be Pete Berryman. Pickford is not going to be 4th. It is going to be Jack Keithley that's going to be 4th, getting the position on the final lap of the race. Pickford will get 5th, 6th for Denton. Jos Honig 7th place. Sponholz through in 8th. Baker will take 9th ahead of Ralph Cullen, coming through to take 10th place.
I'll tell you what, the top 4 started 5th, 15th, 23rd and 20th respectively. So really good jobs fighting their way through the field there to get the glory and get the podium. A brilliant effort, especially from Pete Berryman, 23rd on the grid and finished in P3, and we saw some fantastic racing out there. I think I picked a good time, Adam, to join in on this one.
Yeah,
it was a good fun race.
Yeah, very good fun race. Chembol at Bassi side by side across the line. Who got it at the line there between him and Van Luzenoord? It was just Chembol at Bassi by 18 tenths of a second, and just as those guys come across the line, Brentford make it 3-0, and I am even more depressed than I was now.
Oh, is it 3? Oh dear. Well, I can't talk. We lost against a lower division team on an artificial pitch, so
oh god.
Yeah, that's no good at all. Boluk Bassi, by the way, came through in 18th despite having rear wing damage, so good performance by him. A lot of big names, Alex, seem to be affected by small things in that race, really.
Yeah, it really stemmed from that crash, didn't it? You know, going through Beckett's Maggots Chapel. Yep. I mean, that just caused caused mayhem there. So yeah, poor old John Godfrey. He'll be trying to lay low, I think, in the paddock area right now. There'll be a lot of drivers after him.
Oh dear. John Godfrey, though, has had a very good season up until now. So
I know John well enough to know that he'll be kicking himself right now as well, and he'll be very apologetic to his teammates. Worth pointing out that 4 of them got wiped out in that instance. So yeah, that's how you do it.
Yeah, he's a nice chap. I'm sure he'll be a bit remorseful over that. But we've all done it. We've all taken his teammates out, and that's just how it is sometimes, I think.
Running through the finishing order then from race 2. Still 2 races to go, of course. Rene Osterkamp taking the win then for Charlie Gerges 2nd. 3rd, Pete Berryman. 4th, Jack Keithley. 5th for Mark Pickford. 6th, Paul Denton. 7th, Jos Honig. 8th, Matthias Sponholz. 9th, David Baker. And 10th, Ralph Cullinan. 11th place finish for Antoine Higelin. Paul Smith dropping down to 12th in that spin at Priory. Then 13th place for Nathan Davies, 14th place for Castling Gra, Simon Hodge 15th, 16th Alan Mitchell, 17th for Kip Stevens, 18th Chembol at Bassi, 19th Martin Van Luzenoord, and 20th for Kevin Balthazar, 21st Michael Hall, 22nd Ashley Bakehood, 23rd Alan Morgan, 24th Stephen Baxter, 25th Oscar Mangan, 26th James Nash, 27th Pierre Minier, last car on the lead lap. Then the cars 1 lap down or more. Christian Rose, Samuel Lebert and John McHutchinson. McHutchinson will be the car on reverse grid pole if we a full. Then 6 laps down Daniel McCauley. 8 laps down in 32nd is John Godfrey. Matt Bunn 9 laps down in 33rd. Then Tom Depker 10 laps down along with David White in 35th. And Guy Pedrozzoli finishing in 36th place. And Josh Thompson finishing in 37th. Right then, time to get the reverse grid up for race 3 of the day. Alex Simpson.
Here we go then. We're gonna land. One knows. Right, here we go. Second time of the night then. It's worth pointing out this is what the official wheel should have been, as some were asking questions why it's changed. This is going to be close. I think it's going to stay on 28th. We've got a pretty large reverse again. So close to 22nd. It stays on 28th.
Good reverse grid for Christian Rosen. He's going to be on pole position for race 3. Pierre Minier starting in 2nd. James Ashford, Oscar Mangan in 4th. And Stephen Baxter going to be starting in 5th. Right then. Right then, we're going to take a break. I'm lost for words, not because of the broadcast, by the way. We'll be back after this then for the third race of the day. in the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Formula Renault Championship and in association with the Apex Racing League. Make sure you can join us for that in a few moments.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it at 4. Who's gonna be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
And we're back on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. We're getting set for race 3 of the day of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Formula Renault Championship in association with the Apex Racing League. Adam Bath here again with iRacing World Championship driver Alex Simpson and Andrew Woodhouse. This time Alex, he's in the car, so that'll be something for us to watch during race 3.
Yep, absolutely. Managed to get himself into the session. Thanks for the admins for sorting that out. So yeah, we'll have a little chuckle with that. I think as this race progresses, should be a lot of fun. But yeah, race 3, a reasonable, well, a larger reverse grid again. So 28 cars. So it's going to be pretty frantic, I think, out there.
Christian Rose, yeah, will be on the pole position for this race. And yeah, I think Andrew Woodhouse wouldn't be allowed on the roads in Britain, let's just say that. So we'll see how he gets on here in his Formula Renault. And yeah, Christian Rose on pole position for this race. We've got another 11-lap race coming up then. Race 3 of the day. Afternoon conditions here around Silverstone. Conditions about 21 degrees ambient temperature and 37 degrees track temperature here.
Just want to obviously point out as well, obviously Andrew, like many other drivers, you fancy coming having a play just for one race or something like that. Well, you can just pay your entry fee as a privateer, jump in there, and you think, well, what's the point? Well, we've got about 10 grand's worth of hardware prizes that are going to be given away at the Sim Racing Expo. Now, how you win those hardware prizes that might range from Leo Bodner steering systems, ProSim shifters, Dazer sim centers, and all sorts of other stuff, GT Omega racing rigs. Get onto the racetrack, score some points. Those points become the number of raffle tickets that you'll get that will be basically put into a big hat and pulled at the end of the season. So if you fancy coming and have a little play, want to get yourself an opportunity to win some prizes, we'll do that. Every point you score gets you a raffle ticket in there as well. So good opportunity just for just a couple of races here and there. Fancy having a blast, get involved.
Of course, it'll probably have to be virtual raffle tickets. But yeah,
you're right. I think it might be a few too many by the end.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole $10,000 prize money had to go on raffle books. Christian Rose starting on pole position and for the 3rd race of the day. Pierre Meunier starting in 2nd. James Nash 3rd. 4th, Oscar Mangan. 5th, Stephen Baxter. 6th, Alan Morgan. 7th, Ashley Blake Hood. 8th, Michael Hall. 9th, Kevin Balthazar. And 10th, Martin van Loozenord. 11th for Kip Stevens, Alan Mitchell 12th, Simon Hodge 13th, Castlein Grau 14th, 15th Nathan Davis, 16th Paul Smith, 17th Antoine Higgelin, 18th for Ralph Cullinan, 19th David Baker and 20th Matthias Bonholtz. Andrew Woodhouse starting in 37th and last on the track, so we'll see how he gets on throughout the race and what will be happening at the front as well. Christian Rose, of course, CQR driver. We'll see if they can get their 2nd win of the season. Lights are on then. Green lights on and we're away. Good start away from the line from Christian Rose. We'll see who's going to take 2nd place because Pierre Meunier under pressure from James Nash going into Copse Corner for the first time. Nash at the inside. It's going to be 2nd place surely for him. Meunier will try and hold it out round the outside. But as we head up towards Maggis and Beckett's for the first time, Alex, it's anyone's guess who's going to get 2nd place here. Nash is through and also the Apex Racing car, and off is Pierre Meunier then.
Yeah, let's hope he rejoins a bit. Oh, he does. And there's an accident further back, someone around spinning. I'm not sure who that was.
And Tom Depker.
Poor old Tom, he's always involved, no matter what race it seems to be. Gets collecting something.
And Alan Mitchell as well. So
yeah, and Lebert involved, so yeah. You just got to expect anything, I think, on these opening laps. Who was that flying off as well? Someone running extremely wide around Stoke, trying to get themselves back onto the circuit. Ooh. A bit further back.
Yeah, it's Kevin Balthazar, and he tried to get back on the track, but that didn't work at all there. And having to cut across the grass at Club and Vale. And he's going to be going just behind Andrew Woodhouse in 30th place.
Stevens around too, so into the wall on the right there. So yeah, it's all kicking off in this 3rd race of the night.
I'm trying to source each other up through the first lap. Pretty frantic racing here at Silverstone, through Brooklands and through into Luffield. And it's been a fantastic start for Christian Rose. 6/10 of a second lead as he comes around to complete the first lap. Second is James Nash. Third is Oscar Mangan. And fourth is Martin van Loosenholt. We saw the pace he had in qualifying, put it on pole position. Didn't win the race. And once again, I've just remembered, the pole position curse seems to still be standing in the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Formula Renault Championship. Because Martin van Loosenholt wasn't able to win race 1. I don't think the pole sitter for race 2 was able to win race 2. And at the moment, Christian Rose, pole sitter there, trying to hold on. We'll see if we can finally break the curse as Keithley's gone.
Yeah, Keithley around. It looks like he's involved with somebody else as well. Let's see that back on a replay. Find it unlikely there's 2 cars off at the same time and they didn't come into contact. We were maybe 3 wide. He's looking in the middle. What's going to happen here? It's the cut back. And, oh yeah, exactly. Someone just loses it and catches Jack. He's an absolute innocent victim there. And I'm not sure who the other driver was, Adam, but yeah, unfortunately he tried to hold it on that really bumpy area, and I'm afraid to say there's just some inexperience there because you just can't do it. Just doesn't stick around there. Really close up front now. Oscar Mangan going for the lead on Christian Rose, the inside of where was that? That was Bridge, sorry, and then holds on to it for Priory. Rose now under a lot of threat from James Nash and Van Loosenholt as well. They're side by side, right behind him.
Yeah, Van Loosenholt trying to take that final spot on the podium away from James Nash. Van Loosenholt running out wide on the exit of Luffield through Woodcut, the final corner to start lap 3. Rounding outside goes Martin Van Loosenholt, and that is 3rd place for him. How long is it going to be before he takes 2nd place away from Christian Rose? Then we'll have a battle on our hands between the 2 Apex Racing teammates of Oscar Mangan and Martin Van Loosenholt. There you go, I curse Martin Van Loosenholt again. He goes wide through Copse, and straight away he loses that position back to James Nash.
Yeah, Martin made almost the same mistake as what we saw just a lap ago as well, that caused that accident, but fortunately just kept the car straight and didn't try and bring it back on the circuit, and that's pretty much how you can survive. But got a great run. I think he's going to be backed by James here. Issues for Jos Honig as well, dropping down the timing screens right now, so I don't know quite what that is, but yep, looks like his race might be done. Mark Pickford out as well. Everybody else seems to still be running though.
Other side here between Michael Hall and that is the car behind is Alan Morgan. Those two were side by side going into club. They sorted each other out there. Michael Hall having a better race here so far. It's still inside the top 10, but Van Loosenholt past Rose. Yeah,
for 2nd up the inside. Bridge straightforward. Rose not really fighting that too much. Stephen Baxter as well, having a battle with Nathan Davis. Who's around? Baxter's around.
Baxter.
Oh God, that's the worst place, and he gets collected. And he just couldn't get his car out of the way. Just stay there. Everybody's scrambling around to try and avoid it. Gets that car into reverse gear and gets on out of there. Lost his front end already, unfortunately, though.
I'll tell you what Stephen Baxter would have wanted. A lot of damage to the front of his car. A 2nd lap completed then. Christian Rose now is under pressure and is off, and is under pressure from James Nash then. This is the battle for 3rd place. Who's going to have it going into Magnussen Beckers? Up the inside goes James Nash, and he is back to where he started, back up to 3rd place. Christian Rose, the pole sitter, getting demoted another position now. He's off the podium positions.
Just saw Pascal Jurgis there as well. But sorry, Pascalis Jurgis, sorry, mate. Getting a position as well, so he's moved himself up into 10th place now.
It's off a very good race from Pascalis so far. And Morgan dropping down the order.
Baker and Morgan 3 wide going into Stowe there, and oh, who was that? Just behind, I think it might have been McHutchinson into the wall in his Pro Sim car. Big crash. Let's take a look at that back and see what happened. Yes, trying to keep up with it here is proving difficult.
A replay up of that on the screen.
Oh, he just got clobbered from behind. Lebert, it's fair to say, made a big mistake. Hit him from behind, and I think Lebert's going to be retiring this race as well. So, yeah,
Oh, crush. Cars around. Paul Smith. I think that might be Christian Rose, possibly. No, it's Matt Bunn. This is all in Brooklands. What happens here? Oh, my word. A whole load of cars involved, actually. It starts all the way back with John Godfrey, Osterkamp and Paul Smith. Smith getting turned, and everyone has to take evasive action. And then here comes the rest of the field. Matt Bunn arriving on the scene, getting turned around. And, oh, Samuel Lebert is also in trouble.
Yeah, Lebert, I think, might... I don't know if he had...
disqualified, possibly. Oh, car
yeah,
around as well in Cops. Who is that that's
Smith
around?
up the inside, and yeah, like you say, that caused absolutely all manner of nightmare for people there.
Smith around again in turn 1. Obviously, he got damage to the car that's definitely affecting the handling. Versus Higlin versus Rose, and that is Higlin through into into 4th place now, gain of 13 spots. Pete Berryman won't be too long before he's on the case. Berryman in 6th place now. 7th is actually Blake Hood. 8th Nathan Davies. Then it is Michael Hall and Pashali Jurgis rounding out the top 10. Jurgis getting close to
Higlin
the CQR
with a
car.
mistake. Just about gets the car stopped as well. Could have easily run into Nash there as well. Just went a little bit too hot into a bridge. But gets the move completed. I think James was pretty fair there and let him go almost. So Christian Rose trying to capitalise on that and see if he can get back past Nash, but couldn't quite make it happen. Front 2 very close. We can see him losing or trying to hunt him down. So Academy versus UK.
Going into Cops then. Just under 6 laps to go. Yeah, and this battle definitely heating up. See how what the lap times are like. Christian Rose also still clinging on to the back of Antoine Higlin and James Nash, but surely Pete Berryman is going to be attacking him on this lap then as we head down the Hangar Straights. Pete Berryman 1:35.865, the quickest lap of anyone. Change for the lead as well. Martin van Loosenor getting past Oscar Mangan Alex just as Pete Berryman gets past Christian Rose. Looks like it might have just been a clean manoeuvre for for Martin van Loosenor. Alex going into Stowe. Haven't seen the replay just yet, but yeah, that's definitely looks like it was the case. And yeah, Martin van Loosenor, the pole sitter in race 1, wasn't able to take the win in that one, and but now he's definitely taking the lead here.
Yeah, good drive through the field for him, and that's just the way the reverse grids can work sometimes. You know, you can sort of be lifted back into a reasonable position so you can still get strong results. What's going on a bit further back? This is Paul Denton and John Godfrey having a little battle. They're side by side right now, coming through Club, and yeah, John on the inside, which is going to become the outside, and we've got Balthazar as well having a little look on the inside of Bridge. John running a little bit wide. He's under a bit of pressure. So conceded the place there to Balthazar. So good, good bit of pressure from him. Got that position. Oh, and John around, I think. Just everything just piled up there, and really just compromised his line somewhat, and drops all the way down to 28th place now.
Nobody wanted it at all. Of course, we did get 28 drawn for the reverse grid, so there is all hope isn't lost just yet for John Godfrey. But yeah, we'll see what he's able to do. Oscar Mangan has disappeared off my timing screen, but he's still there. He's off, actually, through the exit of Stowe. Comes back on. We'll have lost a bit of time, I think, to Martin van Loosenord, who's been able to build a gap up to about 1.7 seconds now. But yeah, minor scare there. Osterkamp v Baker. In fact, this is a nice battle here, actually. 4 cars. Osterkamp versus Sponholz. As you know, it's Pedrozzoli versus Sponholz then. It's Osterkamp v Baker. Osterkamp up the inside of the CQR club driver, and that is him through. Pedrozzoli, actually, who's leading this train around, this quartet. He's gained 24 positions so far in this race, so he's having a brilliant one out there. We've still got 4.5 laps to go, and Pedrozzoli could be about to come under threat from Sponholz, though, in that Braun GP liveried Formula Renault.
A good drive back for Osterkamp here, really, considering he was 28th, so all the way up to 13th at the moment. Feel like 5 laps left. He's definitely got room to get into the or time to get into the top 10 as well. So looking very, very strong, right on the pace this week.
Box line we go then. Here comes Osterkamp. Moving to the inside. Bonholt's just going to stay on the racing line, try and see if he can hold it out around the outside, but up the inside goes René Osterkamp, and that is second place for him. And now here comes David Baker. Baker wants to get some of the action here as well. Around the outside, possibly. No, just not enough alongside for him to get anything done there, but I think we might be sensing an opportunity for David Baker here, Alex, just out of Chapel down the Hanger Straight. This looks like it could be a straightforward move if he gets a good run, which actually he doesn't do.
Yeah, and just terrible run actually. Look at the time he's lost on that Hanger Straight there. So just goes to show if your car pushes just a little bit through there, very, very tricky. Big shout out to our in-race sponsors as well, Leo Bodnar and ProSim. Yeah, thanks for the prizes those guys have put up for grabs for this series.
Yeah, definitely some big prizes up for grabs at the Sim Racing Expo later in the season at the Nürburgring, of course. Where the showdown will be coming to an end. We haven't checked in on Andrew Woodhouse today. He's in first. He's in 28th place, 57 seconds off the lead, but he has gained 9 positions so far in the race, and most of them are due to cars retiring, I admit. But yep, holding his own route there, and the car looks relatively clean for an Andrew Woodhouse car.
Yeah, just staying out of trouble. I think that's the best way. He's going to pick up a whole load of places as well. Who knows where he'll be with the reverse grid for the final race of the night as well. Pascalis Jurgis here having a little look on Nathan Davis. Davis defending the inside, but I have to think that the move is going to be complete. Just carrying extra momentum is Ash there.
Apex UK versus Apex Racing Simulators there. Nathan Davis driving for that team. And yeah, down to 9th place. Pascalis Jurgis up 18 positions. Tell you what, definitely got a knack for overtaking her Jurgis in this Formula Renault. Seems to be doing it quite a lot, especially across the 3 races today that we've had at Silverstone with 2.5 laps to go. Paul Denton versus Ralph Cullinan. Those 2 cars have just changed positions going through Maggots and Beckett's. What happened there to change it? Oh, it's just a good run on the exit from Paul, which allowed him through. And now Denton into
with pace
18th.
at the moment. Yeah, it just seems to be very, very slow. Tom closing in on him as well, tucked up behind. So Tom involved in a crash at the start of this race, and he's up to 20th place. It says he's up 12 places so far in this race, so actually not a bad one. This could be number 13, as I definitely feel like Ralph is carrying some sort of issue which is slowing him down out there right now.
Car looks undamaged, but yeah, something must be going on either in the car, is he? Or something's definitely wrong. He's about to lose another position to Balthazar there, going through Bridge and Abbey. And just behind them, Alan Morgan and Kip Stevens just changing positions. Alan Morgan get up into about 22nd place. Kip Stevens down to 23rd. And Alan Morgan definitely has got a lot of damage to the front of his car. Kip Stevens in that ProSim Formula Renault in 24th place. And then just at the back of this train is Alan Mitchell. Right then, 2 laps to go.
Mitchell in the old Jordan livery as well, which I have to say looks absolutely fantastic. Top marks to whoever painted that one. If that was yourself, Alan, bravo, mate. That's a great paint job.
Oh no!
Doesn't look so good now.
Oh no! And that's disqualification for Alan Morgan.
Yep. So, well,
what can you
that's
say?
one way to gain a place, I suppose. Sorry, Alan. Both as well. Morgan will be really disappointed with that because that's pushed him out of the race, and that's just one of those moments where you just wish there wasn't an incident limit, because no fault of his own there, he's been disqualified from this race.
Well, there you go. Side by side, Pedrozzoli versus Osterkamp through Bridge. Osterkamp going to try up the inside into Priory. Oh no! They both go off. They're both pushing that hard. They're able to get back onto the track, and they haven't lost too many positions. But yeah, this is going to be a nice battle to watch on the final lap, Alex, as we're just coming through to start that now.
Yeah, crazy. The race almost done. Uznor just pulled away from Oscar once he's got to the lead.
Yeah, 3 points, 2 second lead for Luzenord over Mangan as they start the final lap. Then into Cops we go for the final time. lines by all of them, running onto the AstroTurf on the exit just a little bit there. Osterkamp trying to take what is 11th place away from Tanguy Pedrozzoli on the final lap of the race. Just in front of those guys you can see Michael Hall in that CQR car. Once again, the pole sitter in this race, Christian Rose, not leading. He's in 6th place. So we're still in search of a pole sitter that actually wants to win in the iRacing MSA Formula Renault. Why do I keep saying that championship? I think it's probably because of the Dunlop MSA Formula 4 Championship, which ran a few years ago. But yeah, dear me, need to knock that out of me before the next race.
It does sort of roll off your tongue as well, doesn't it? So when you say an MSA, that's the trouble. So
yeah, right. A final half a lap then. Looks like that Pedrozzoli might be under pressure here if Osterkamp gets a good run on the exit of a club, which he has done actually. So this is going to be interesting when we go through Abbey and into Bridge. Speeds of 228, and here comes the leader, Alex, as well.
Yeah, here comes Martin out of Luffield round Woodcote for the final time, and he wins in the 3rd race of the night here at Silverstone.
Brilliant job from him. 2nd for Mangan, 3rd for Higlin. It's another Apex 1, 2, 3. Christian Rose, the pole sitter should get 6th place. 7th for Sturgis. What about Pedrozzoli versus Osterkamp? It is as you were. It's going to be close at the line. Osterkamp almost pushing Pedrozzoli to the line, and across the line it is Osterkamp that takes that final spot, that 12th spot.
Josh Thompson and David White. Oh, that's very close. Josh is around, coming to the line.
No.
Oh, don't know if he got tagged there or not, but he needs to get going, otherwise he's going to lose a few more places. So absolutely nightmare scenario at the end there for him.
Oh no, yeah, just looks on the replay. David White going straight into the back of him. Don't know what happened at all there for Josh Thompson. It must have been just... Oh, the car does slow down. I doubt it's fuel.
They're good on fuel. Let's have a look, we're on board. Oh, he is out of fuel.
The car slows down before he hits it.
He is out of fuel and then gets tagged from behind, so... And that's why he just limps across the line. He was lucky to finish.
Yeah, lucky on the field to finish.
I think, David probably just was not expecting that at all. You know, he's just expecting that he's going to have to slipstream, and then all of a sudden he's pushing Josh over the line. Well, not quite over the line, but yeah.
Josh Thompson takes 17th. Andrew Woodhouse has just come across the line. He has got 27th place. So we'll watch that with interest for the reverse grid. Stephen Baxter just coming across the line now. He'll take 28th place, and only one car, 1 lap down. That's Paul Smith. So we are really odds in for a commentator, an Apex Racing TV commentator and a former Apex Racing TV commentator to be on pole position for the 4th and final race of the day. Let's run you through the finishing order then. Race win for Martin van Luzenoord. 3 wins in the space of 7 races. Oscar Mangan finishing 2nd, 3rd for Antoine Higelin, 4th Pete Berryman, James Nash 5th, Apex Racing 1, 2, 3, 4, I should just add. Christian Rose finishing in 6th place, the pole sitter for CQR. Pashada Sturgis finishing in 7th, Ashley Bakehood 8th, Nathan Davis 9th, and Michael Hall rounding out the top 10. 11th for Tanguy Pedrozzoli, just ahead of René Osterkamp at the end. 13th for Matthias Bonholtz, David Baker 14th, Daniel McCauley 30th to 15th, so sived through half the positions there. Then 16th for David White, 17th Josh Thompson, 18th for Paul Denton, 19th for Tom Depker, 20th Kip Stevens, 21st for Kathleen Grat. Kevin Balthazar started inside the top 10, however we saw at the start he was involved in quite a few off-excursions, so he finished 22nd. Ralph Cullinan 23rd, Pierre Minier finishing in 24th place, started on the front row as well. Alan Mitchell 25th, John Godfrey 26th, Andrew Woodhouse, we're just mentioning him there, he finished in 27th place. Stephen Baxter 28th, Paul Smith 1 lap down in 29th place, Alan Morgan 2 laps down. And then Jack Keithley 31st, 5 laps down, along with Matt Bunn, who was 6 laps down. John McCutchinson 7 laps down in 33rd. Samuel Lebert, ever since winning that opening race of the day, it has not been a pleasant ride for him, finishing in 34th, 8 laps down. Jos Honig 35th, 8 laps down. Simon Hodge also 8 laps down. Mark Pickford, he was a pole sitter for race 2 of course, started in 23rd for this race and finished in 37th, 10 laps down. Problems for him on lap 1. Right then, we do have Andrew Woodhouse, but I think he has muted himself. We'll wait to see if he gets out the car. But yeah, Alex, eventful race 3. As always in the BSR races, they seem to get more eventful as the evening goes on.
Yeah, I think so. A little scrappy in places, that one as well. And yeah, just some of the drivers. What we still got to remember, it's still a very new series. Like we see the BSR touring car that has a lot of accidents and things like that in it as well. But some amazing racing as well. And I think this is what guys just obviously still need to feel each other out a little bit. There's a lot of people racing each other out there that don't normally race each other because you've got pros and you've got AMs and reverse grids, so fast drivers coming on slow ones and they're not sure how quick they are. And I think we're seeing a few mistakes from both ends of the spectrum with the guys, quick guys coming in too fast into these corners and knocking off the slower ones, and then the slower drivers making mistakes as well. So, but like I say, I think that's all part of the scenario of this series, and drivers are going to have to figure that out if they're going to get themselves into the relevant showdown, whether it be the pro or the AM. So it's we obviously haven't been here in this stage, sort of seeing the series develop before, because obviously we come into the BSR touring cars sort of when it was about 5 seasons on.
Well, Mr. Woodhouse, you finished in 27th place, and you were able to gain 10 positions. To be fair, many of them were the ones that dropped out, but yeah, a good solid race.
Yeah, not too bad. I only really overtook 1 or 2 on merit, but yeah, I'm pretty slow out there, I'll be honest, but I've not driven the car for a while, so yeah, hopefully I just want to finish the race, get some points, and see what happens. It's just for a bit of fun, really, but I had a couple of mistakes in the last race, had a couple of spins, but
get some raffle tickets, mate, as well.
Yes, mate. It really wouldn't have made a lot of difference to my finishing position. So just getting a few points, getting some raffle tickets. If we get a full, then I'll be on the front 2 rows. But I'll be perfectly honest. I'll be a little bit of a mobile chicane, I reckon, out there for everybody else. But we'll try our best. We'll try our best. I didn't crash, so it's fine.
We'll get a live reaction, I think, to the reverse grid draw, which we're about to do then. We could have either Paul Smith, commentator himself, of course, on pole position. We could have you, or we could have anyone else around that area. So Alex Simpson for the final time tonight. Let's spin the wheel.
Here we go then. Where are we going to end up? It's the full. I think it's just going to tick over to 23rd. It is.
So Ralph Cullen will start on pole position, Kevin Balthazar second, Catalin Graf third, Kip Stevens fourth, and Tom Depker will be starting in fifth. At least you and Paul will be starting relatively close, Andrew, for the final race.
Yeah, he'll wipe the floor with me though, he really will, but no, that's fine, I'm probably more suited to being near the back of this field anyway, but with no practice, but we'll see what happens.
Well then, it is transfer deadline day, and the deadline for our broadcast is fast approaching. Race 4 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Formula Renault Championship will be coming up after the break.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Nick Candy, what a move! Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's gonna be into stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
The final time we're getting set to go for the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Formula Renault Championship. This fourth race sponsored by iRacing. Adam Buffer here again with Alex Simpson. And Alex, final race of the day. Quickly, what can we expect here? Typical fourth race, really.
Yeah, another fairly reasonable reverse grid. So I think it's going to be a good one again. I expect to see, you know, some collisions out there. It's going to happen. Fast guys coming through, and lots of overtaking going on out there. So, you know, let's hope for a good strong race. That's what I want to see.
Ralph Cullinan starts on the pole then. Kevin Balthazar, in second. Catalin Grower in third. Kip Stevens fourth. Fifth, Tom Depker. Sixth, Paul Denton. Seventh, Josh Thomas. Eighth is David White. Ninth, Daniel McCauley. And 10th is David Baker. Here we go then.
That's going to be saved for an outtake by Lee, you know it for sure.
Yeah, no, what have I done? Here we go then. Lights are on. Green. Green lights on and we're away for the final time tonight. Gov Cullinan gets away well from the line, but it's a good second phase of the start from Kevin Balthazar. Don't think he'll be able to pull alongside by the time we get to Cops for the first time, but yeah, a good start from him as well. Third is Catalin Grab. Around the outside is Kip Stevens. Oh no, the leader's gone. Cullinan gone then, just like that. So fortunately for him, he's off the track in a way that no one's going to hit him. Another car's off in the first corner as well. That was Matt Bunn. Awful run for Matt Bunn at the moment. High up in the champion. Oh, crash as well in Maggots and Beckett's. That is 3 cars. That is Ashley Blake Hood. That is Samuel LeBear. Samuel LeBear again. And Christian Rose, the pole sitter for race 3.
Someone's doing donuts as well in the
Matt Bunn. Oh dear, and he's got going again. Anyway, Catalin Grab battling for the lead, down a hanger straight into Stowe. He leads. Kip Stevens second. Kevin Balthazar getting shoved all the way down to 4th. He was leading briefly. Now up the inside goes Josh Thompson. He takes second place away from Kip Stevens. Apex car always seems to be at the front whenever you look. There's a car off as well in Club. That is, who's that rejoining the track a bit dangerously there? That is Tanguy Pedrozzoli. And a few cars have to scatter. This doesn't look too good going into Abbey and Bridge, Alex. All the Formula Renault cars here really bunched together.
Yeah, very close at this point. I don't really know where to look. Anything can happen. Who's that running wide? Oh, someone.
Balthazar.
Wanted to, just got Priory all wrong. I thought he could just rejoin sort of off the national straight, but as it was, car just bounced over some gravel there and sent him around. Paul Denton under pressure. Got a gaggle of cars tucked in behind him right now.
Well, that means we're not going to have our pole sitter win a race, or does it mean a car on the front row? Who's that on their roof in Cops? Is that Sponholtz possibly? No, it's still Matt Bunn. So we saw Matt Bunn doing the donuts, and now he's ended up on his roof, so God knows what's happened there. Side by side, Antoine Higelen trying to get through the order. He's just been battling with David Baker, it looks like. In fact, that was Lusenord. And we could be about to go 3 wide down the straight here. Looks like we could be in for a mugging by David White. An Apex car looked like it should go to the outside. But doesn't look like he's been able to get it done there. Martin van Lusenord and David White changing positions going into Stowe. Oh, this is very close here. David Baker now trying to get up the inside in his CQR car. Into Club and now into Vale. Baker, you're going to have to go around the outside there. Decides to slot back in. Cooler conditions, of course, for the 4th and final race of the day. 24 degrees track temperature, 20 degrees ambient. And just in front of them, battle between Nathan Davis and Pete Berryman. Apex Sims versus Apex UK. Going into Bridge. Berryman going to try and go around the outside. That'll be the inside for Priory. And he is through. So that is Pete Berryman up to... Oh, off. Car off. That's Denton. What happened to him? Lost it on his own. Similar to how Paul Smith went off in race 2 earlier.
He'll get a slowdown for that there, but he's been able to continue. No damage, so still there and able to fight on. Mark Pitford as well, having a little battle. Who's he racing against right now? That's Balthazar there as well. Pickford, obviously pole sitter for race 2.
A few cars are dropping down the order. Tom Depker, David White and David Baker. Don't know what's happened to those guys. Depker might be in a bit of issues. Where is he? Oh yeah, he's just getting going again on the exit of Cops. What happened between
replay.
these guys?
Got it coming up. It seems like there's a crazy battle going on behind. What's going on?
Oh, contact, yeah, between him and David White. Tell you what, James Nash was very lucky to avoid all that, and so was David Baker.
Yeah, so White sort of threw it up the inside. Didn't. Only just alongside. I think Tom sort of was perhaps a bit late. Tom really didn't see it, and then of course just got clobbered into. So once again, poor old Tom. Every race I think I've seen him involved in something.
Josh Thompson's taking the lead. So change for the lead there. That is him now in front. Catalin Grass second. Pashali Sturgis, Alex, how does he do it? He is up in third place again for Apex Racing UK. Then it's Daniel McCauley and Pete Berryman. Those two battling away there, and around goes McCauley. In the same place where Denton was off.
Just having a quick look at the replay of the lead change here, and then we'll catch up and see if we can see some of that action. But yeah, Thompson just got a good run, I think, possibly down Hanger Straight. There's an accident as well on Hanger Straight that we missed. But around the outside of Stowe, makes it, yeah, doesn't do it the easy way, that's for sure. As Catlin tries to defend it really, really well, but Joss gets the inside for Vale and sweeps around and takes it and completes the move sort of through club. So good overtake there.
Higgelen versus Kip Stevens. And that is Stevens down a position. That is Higgelen up into 7th place. And just behind those, you can Matthias Sponholtz and Oscar Mangan are now battling over 10th and 11th place going down the Hanger Straight. Sponholtz might be at the mercy here, and in the background, all sorts of battles kicking off as well. Here comes Mangan to the inside, into Stowe. Lap 4 of 11 here, and Mangan through into the top 10. And behind all those behind those two, you can see side by side there between Keithley and John Godfrey. So in fact, it's Michael Hall and James Nash as well. So plenty of battles there.
Yeah, a bit further back there was Baxter as well involved in something. So there's lots and lots of little battles going on there at the moment. So they've spread themselves out enough now that yeah, we're not seeing too much contact out there. So 8 more laps to go. Who's that going for a move? I think that was somebody on
Hall?
James Nash, was
Yeah,
that?
Hall.
Yeah, Michael Hall. And Nash trying to fight back up the inside. He's got that lovely coming out of Priory into Brooklands there side by side as well. The advantage is going to switch back to Hall as they go through Luffield. Nash driving round the outside, cuts across the nose of Hall, and he gets that position. Hall's, Nash's teammate wants to have a go at it as well. That's Jack Keithley. He's recovering well after what happened last race. John Godfrey just tucked him behind him as well.
Oh, and just in front, Osterkamp and Sponholtz were right with each other as well. And side by side in front of them, going into Maggots almost. Kip Steve, it was Mangan v McCauley. Yeah, Mini Air dropping down the order as well. Don't know what's happened to Pierre there, but all eyes on this battle. Going onto the Hanger Straight. Wow, this is very close here. Side by side there, almost contact between Denton and Godfrey. Of course, Denton was off on the exit of Priory a few laps ago. Now here comes Michael Hall in the tow. He's going to sell him a dummy here, proper Nigel Mansell style, 1987. Looking up the inside, and that is Michael Hall through brilliantly there. That is him up into 13th place.
Great move from Hall. But good, we just caught the tail end of it. Carlos Burgess now into 2nd place through Bridge. Pulls that move off, just carries the speed in, and yeah, he's going to settle in behind Josh Thompson.
Now he'll be able to get after Josh Thompson then. 1 second the gap between those guys. Osterkamp v Kip Stevens, and Stevens seems to be dropping down a few positions actually. Don't know what's happened to the 2-time BSR TC champion. Just looks like he's got muscle
who's that
out
off
there.
and around as well?
Baxter
around. What happened to him? Take a quick look at that. I think there was a couple of cars involved there, so perhaps a bit of contact. He was battling with
like
John Godfrey.
On his own, it looks like. On the outside, does that disrupt the aero of the car at all, Alex? And
you know what? It's quite
it
bumpy actually on that outside there. You have to be careful. I know in a practice race the other day, I had a similar sort of thing. Just took a little bit too much speed in there, and as I was coming through the corner, just caught the bump just a little bit wrong, and the back end just around she come.
Keithley v Hall. and Hall up the inside. No way through just yet for him. And this might allow James Nash to exact his revenge here. Onto the hangar straight. There are position changes in front as well. I'll update you on those in a moment. But here comes Nash versus... Oh my... Well, what's Michael Hall doing there? Weaving across the track. He's going to go to the outside, and round the outside he goes of Jack Keithley. Keithley's going to force him out wide. Onto the grass goes Michael Hall, and also onto the grass goes James Nash. In fact, it was Godfrey. So, fantastic battle here outside the top 10. The position changes inside the top 5. It was Van Loozenord getting past Katalin Gra.
And for the lead,
yeah,
sorry.
And battle for the lead as well.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just to cut you off there. 6 laps to go. 5 as they were about to cross the line. Oh, a slightly difference in line there, and that's just sticking his nose up the inside of Josh Thompson. Thompson won't want to give this up, of course. Wants as many points for his AM team as he can possibly get. He's got his teammate just 3 cars back as well in Martin van Loozenord. So good points haul for the AM team here.
Lap 7 then, Godfrey versus Nash. As we cross the line, that was a change of position there. That's Godfrey through. But yeah, 2 tenths of a second between Josh Thompson and Paschalis Gergis. Heading onto the hangar straight then. Let's see what the slipstream is like for Josh Thompson and Gergis. Gergis looking to the outside then. Oh, Thompson moves across. Forcing Gergis out wide. Still moving across. Going into Stowe. Round the outside goes Gergis. And he should be clear. Going into Club and Vale. And he is. And that is Paschalis Gergis to the lead. Josh Thompson to second. And now here come Pete Berryman and Martin van Loozenord. Loozenord, the winner of race 3. Trying to win race 4 here.
And he's up alongside Pete right now. Oh, he just backs out of it ever so slightly.
Oh, here we go into bridge. Top 4 right with each other. Separated by just under a second. As on the inside looking there was Pete Berryman. Now into, oh no, contact's made and around goes Thompson. And that is not what Pete Berryman wanted at all there. Loozenord through into second. Katalin Grau also up another position. And Alex Simpson, I bet you're clenching in your seat there.
Shaking my head in disbelief right now.
Well, yeah, Loozenord through into second place. This gives him an opportunity to go for the lead. However, it's now 1.3 seconds the gap between him and Paschalis Gergis. Mark Pickford seems to be dropping down the order as well. He might have gone off in... he's gone off in Priory, actually. Seems to be... Oh, car bit and spat him out into the gravel. So, yeah, problems for him.
Do this. It looks very similar to what happened to Baxter. Just lost it going in, and this this Renault is it does rotate a lot off power, and that's one of the more corners where you're off the power pretty aggressively, but not sort of braking too hard. It's just a dab on the brake, and you kind of throw it in, and that back can come around very, very easy.
Josh Thompson getting past Pete Berryman, and now Berryman's under pressure from Antoine Higelen.
I think Pete's got some front wing damage after collecting Josh there. So should be okay to finish the race, but yeah, it's not going to help his lap times at all out there.
Update on our colleague Andrew Woodhouse in 32nd place. He's the last car running on the track. 58 seconds behind the race leader, Paschalis Gergis at the moment.
Oh, Paul Denton on Kip Stevens. Again going into sort of through Abbey into a bridge around the outside of bridge. He'll have the inside for Priory. Can Kip hold it around the outside? He's trying to, and got James Nash having a look as well. So he wants to get involved on that as well. Nash to the inside of Brooklands. We'll have to hold it around the outside of Luffield now, and both drivers up and past Kip there.
Kip struggling in this race today. Down 13 positions from where he started, down to 17th place. Davis v Berryman now. Berryman about to lose straight through, yeah.
Peter's damage on his front wings just causing him massive straight line speed. He's got a bit of advantage going up into sort of about 9th place, so I think Oscar will get straight by him, but he might be able to hold off Rennie Osterkamp here.
Rennie Osterkamp not too far behind. Yeah, Mangan's straight through as well, so 2 positions lost for Berryman in the space of about a third of a lap. battle for third place I should say, should be on soon. Josh Thompson trying to get past Catalin Grau again. Grau holding his own in third place, started third, and since that incident happened, he's was all too happy to pick up the pieces.
Catalin, quick driver. He was one of the first drivers to if I'm not mistaken, it was a non-Apex podium, was it? Was Catalin? I think on race 3 of Sebring.
Oh, and through is Thompson, and here comes Higgland as well, and yeah, he's through as well. So Catalin Grau down to 5th place. Right then, the gap between Jurgis and Lusenord, 7/10 of a second. We'll see what the lap times are like as they come across the line. It is a 34.6 for Jurgis, another 4/10 of a second taken out by Lusenord. The gap 7/10 of a second with 2 laps to go. It is on a knife edge there. Daniel McCauley dropping down the order. What's happened to him? He's had a spin on the final corner. Yep, on his own as well.
A mistake out of Luffield, so in 14th place now. But away doesn't seem to have any damage, so just a little spin and off. Pickford and Tom having a little battle again. So Tom recovering after his off that he had earlier on. Oh, Mangan and Davis as well. 1/10 of a second past Oscar, going around the outside, sweeping around Stowe corner. Has he managed to make this stick? Oh, it narrows down. Davis leaves enough room for Oscar on the exit there. Very fair. Could have squeezed him out a little bit more, I feel. Decided not to do it. And yeah, Oscar up and into 6th place.
Also changed for 2nd place. Josh Thompson losing out to Antoine Higgelen. And that is Thompson now off the podium. Might try and fight back and get that position. Gap for the lead. Jurgis v Lusenord, 5/10 of a second. Mangan v Davis again. Davis up the inside going into Priory. Oh, and Mangan has a little look at the inside into Brooklands. But Nathan Davis just has enough to hold him off for now. We're going to be starting the final lap of the race. 4/10 of a second the gap between Paschaly Jurgis and Martin van Lusenord. New personal best of the race for Paschaly Jurgis. Doing everything he can to hold on to the leaders. Here comes Mangan again.
And Martin runs wide as well in turn 1. That could be the buffer that Pash needs to take this final victory as well. 6/10 of a second. Switch back to this 2.
Yeah, I don't know how it didn't end in disaster for those 2. They were rubbing wheels and everything down the straight. Now it's Mangan round the outside, which will become the inside, and now the outside again. And he's going to go around the outside. He should have enough here, and he does. But this is going to allow René Osterkamp to get into the mix here. And when we start the final lap, this is fantastic. Now we've got 3 cars battling for what is 6th, 7th and 8th.
Yeah, Osterkamp with the best of the runs as well. So, as Davis just sweeps out to the right side. That gives him the inside going into Stowe. Osterkamp trying to follow him through as well. Can Oscar hold it around the outside? Oh, 3 wide.
Oh dear, and Nathan Davis almost had his opportunity to get it, runs out wide, and now here comes Osterkamp. Thank you very much, Mr. Davies, and now they're going to go side by side. The gap for 1st and 2nd is still 6/10 of a second, so it looks like, and now it's gone up to a 2nd, so it looks like that Paschaly Jurgis will get that win. He's negotiating Luffield now. Through the final corner he goes. And 3 wins then for Apex Racing today as Daniel McCauley drops down the order some more. Paschaly Jurgis takes the win in race 4 of the day here at Brands Hatch. 2nd for Martin van Lusenord. 3rd will be Antoine Higgelen. 4th Josh Thompson. Catalin Grau will get 5th. Nathan Davis, will he get 6th? No, he won't. It is Oscar Mangan 6th. 7th for Nathan Davis ahead of René Osterkamp in 8th. And running out the top 10. Jack Keithley finishing in 9th. And 10th will be Matthias Bonholtz, Alex.
Yeah, good final race of the night there as well. A lot of action, a lot of side-by-side battling. Still battles going on out there right now as we come to the finish line. Let's have a look. David White as well, and Balthazar. Sorry, Balthazar. Will he be able to hold on here as well? White's looking particularly strong in his Team Mad car. Through Brooklands. He's going to try and time this so he gets the shoot out of the corner. I think he's already hit somebody with such a great exit out of left field, so he knows how to get that nailed, and absolutely gets a perfect exit as well. And White's going to pick up that position. Nothing more enjoyable than getting a position out of the final corner of the race.
Andrew Woodhouse, I think, had issues on the final lap. I don't think he made it to the finish. No, he'll finish a lap down, but that's still a classified finish for him.
Disqualified.
Disqualified. The incident limit of 11 here today.
I crashed, as you can see.
Oh, I'm out.
Oh, I'm out. No, I crashed at Cops, I'm afraid, and then very damaged car. I tried to get it back to the pits, but tried to get it over the line on the last lap, but went off track and I was at my limit. I got hit at the first corner and I had no rear grip for the whole race, so I had so much understeer, it was ridiculous. And but yeah, it's what can I say? 7 seconds a lap slower. I can't really make any more excuses than that, really.
Oh, only through the finishing order, then we'll get in some reaction. Pascal just takes the win. Second for Martin van Loozenord. Third for Antoine Higelin. Fourth for Josh Thompson. Fifth, Katalin Gra. Sixth for Oscar Mangan. Seventh, Nathan Davies. Eighth for Rene Osterkamp. Ninth, Jack Keithley. And 10th, Matthias Bonholtz. Pete Berryman finishing in 11th. 12th, Michael Hall. 13th place for John Godfrey. Daniel McCauley finishing in 14th place. 15th, Paul Denton. 16th, James Nash. 17th for Kip Stevens. 18th for Tanguy Pedrozzoli. Paul Smith, 19th place, and 20th, David Baker. 21st for Mark Pickford. 22nd, Tom Depker. Pierre Meunier finishing in 23rd place. Anna Mitchell, 24th. 25th for Stephen Baxter. 26th for John McCutchinson. 27th for Ralph Cullinan, our pole sitter. The search for the pole sitter that can win a race continues. 28th for David White. 29th for Kevin Balthazar. 30th for Ashley Blake Hood. 31st, Christian Rose. 32nd there, one lap down. So still scores some points. Andrew Woodhouse. Simon Hodge, 33rd, 7 laps down. Alan Morgan, 34th, 8 laps down. Jos Honig, 10 laps down, along with Samuel Lebert. Dear me, wins the race, and literally he falls off a cliff. That is literally what has happened. And Matt Bunn, well, he was doing donuts, he was on his roof, he had spun. Everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong for Matt Bunn in that final race of the day. He finished 37th, 11 laps down. We haven't got anyone to talk to yet. We'll tell you where we're heading next week, though. And it's a track, Andrew, that we seem to be commentating on literally all the time. It's Laguna Seca.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great circuit, though. I mean, there are definitely worse circuits to be going to on a regular basis than Laguna Seca. Yeah, I just had a little look as well at the start of the race, and I ended up I got turned into the inside wall, so I hit the right front suspension on that, broke that, and then someone hit me on the left hand side, and then I got hit. I got broken. I got my left hand suspension broken. So yeah, wasn't great. But yeah, Laguna should be good. We had a good race last night, didn't we? In the Club 73. So
yeah. Yeah, and it's the Rickmatech Sports Car Series, as well. Then also in the Club 73.
The Rickmatech, yes, not the Club 73. We were at the Club 73 at Laguna Seca on Sunday night as well, so forgive me on that one.
That's all right. Alex Simpson, Apex Racing then, another good race meeting for you.
Yeah,
3 wins.
I can't say anything other than, happy with that, to be honest. So, more of the same from the guys. Of course, I just want to see them all finishing all the time, so... But yeah, when from a driver's manager point of view, or team manager, when I'm watching the race, then when there's 5 cars all within half a tenth of each other, and yeah, I'm twitching when I'm watching that. That's for sure. Trying to sort the cameras out and things like that. So it's not the easiest, but yeah, good final race, all round as well for everybody involved.
Well, before we go tonight, then we'll run you through what's coming up on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live over the next week. Thursday, then we've got the next instalment of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. The Winter Series heads to Brands Hatch GP. All 3 of us should be there for that one. Then we head on to Saturday. Saturday evening, we have got the BSR Kia Cup Series, which will be at Phillip Island. getting underway at 2000 GMT. And then we head on to Sunday, Super Sunday, of course. We've got the IMSA Sports Car Series. That'll be at 16:45 GMT. Racing at now you've puzzled me here. Road Atlanta, I think we're racing at this week. Then we've got to end the evening, the Mazda MX-5s at the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit, 8 PM GMT for that one, and the Club 73 Touring Car Championship. That'll be getting underway at 8:30 GMT, and then of course Monday. We have got the Tech Sports Car Series at it again. I believe it's the following week we have the next instalment of the ASRC. Well, my thanks to Alex Simpson being on the cameras today and joining me in the commentary box, iRacing World Championship Grand Prix Series driver. Andrew Woodhouse for joining us as a commentator for race 2. And for well done on racing in the last 2 races. Could be done with another lie down. I know you were given a rude awakening a few hours ago, but thanks for joining us there. And make sure you can join us in the coverage over the rest of the week. But from all of us here, thanks for watching. We'll see you at the next race meeting at Laguna Seca, same time, 8 PM GMT next week. From all of us here, good night.